So as the days went by, like everything between me and Marlin was okay. Like I said, we weren't arguing or anything because I was not caring about what he had going on. But I was still, being my normal self. I was still being like the happy, goofy, making sure he's good, making sure he's fed. I was still being that same person. Okay. Nothing changed. I just mentally, I was checked out. But everywhere else is like, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm here. So one day I go to my mailbox. When I get to my mailbox, I see there's like this little postcard, and it's a pink postcard. And I flip it over because it said from circuit court. I flip it over, and it's telling me a date that I have to go to court. And I'm like, the fuck I'm going to court for? Like, what, like, no, I ain't heard nothing back for that from that the whole me doing the whole reconsideration thing. Nothing back. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at the thing, it says Terrence Lewis Ross versus Keanu Dion Smith. And I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga taking me to court for now? Because with the reconsideration, because I filed the reconsideration, it would the postcard would have said Keanu Dion Smith versus Terrence Lewis Ross. Because I filed. But it didn't. It said opposite. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck he taking me to court for now? So I'm just like, what the fuck? So I go in the house and I'm just like, ugh. And this was one of the days that Marlin had got home early. So I walk in the house, he in the kitchen cooking. I walk in the kitchen, I was just like, yo, I gotta go to court. He was like, he turned around, he was like, oh, they did the reconsideration thing yet? I'm like, no, it's something completely different. He's like, what is it for? I'm like, I don't know. It don't say. It just tells me the parties and like when the date is. He was just like, so it don't say why. I'm like, no, it don't say why. It just say the names and thing on the little postcard. And I showed him the postcard. He was just like, do you know why he filed this? I'm like, yes, he filed it because it says Terrence versus Kiana. So he filed this. And they was like, Martin was like, what he filing on now? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just call him. Martin's like, you sure you want to call him? I'm like, I'm gonna call him because I feel like we can be mature adults. Because I really want to know, like, what you taking me to court for now? Like, what the fuck did I do to you now? So I called Terry. He answered, surprisingly. He was like, hello? I was like, Terry, I checked my mail and I got a postcard saying that we going to court. He was like, huh? I was like, yeah, it's a postcard saying that we going to court with a court date. He was like, well, you talking about for the reconsideration? I'm like, no, because it says Terrence Lewis Ross versus Keanu Dion Smith. He was like, I didn't file anything. I was like, Terry, it says Terrence versus Kiana. That means you filed something. If it was on me, it would have been the opposite, to be reversed. He was like, I didn't do anything. That was my lawyer. I was like, wait, your lawyer? What did your lawyer do? Like what happened? Like what you mean that was your lawyer? He was like, my lawyer did it. He's like, I don't even know why my lawyer filed anything, but it was my lawyer that did it. I didn't do that. I was like, okay, so what is it for? Like, what am I going to court for? He was like, wait, let me ask you something. When's the last time you talked to Carter? I was like, yo, I just talked to Carter the other day, but what are we going to court for? He was just like, I don't like how, because Carter told me that one day he was at your house and you was just yelling at him. I was like, Terry, what are you taking me to court for? Like, just tell me what you're taking me to court. You talking about everything else, but what you are taking me to court for. He was like, look, I'm not taking you to court for anything. My lawyer filed that paperwork. And I'm like, okay, so what are we going to court for? But I'm sure your lawyer ain't just up and say, look, I'm just going to file some paperwork and take her to court. I'm sure he had to talk to you because that's how lawyers work. Like, you have to tell them what to do. He was like, look, I don't like your attitude. I don't like how I can't have a simple conversation with you without you yelling and fussing at me and cussing at me. I'm like, Terry, I asked you what you are taking me to court for, and you're not telling me. You're just telling me that your lawyer filed something, and then you saying that Carter said I yell at him. Like, what am I going to court for? What am I going to court for? For the whole defects thing? I'm like, the defects case is about to be closed. The lady already said that, like, they about to close everything out. We're just waiting to hear back from them. They closing everything out. So, like what's going on? Like, what are you taking me to court for now? I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you. I'm like, I don't call you. I don't text you like that. I'm like, and then when I do text you, I only text you about Carter. Like, I ain't did nothing wrong. So why are you taking me to court now? He was like, you know what? I'm not gonna sit up here and listen to you yelling at me. And he hung up. And I'm just like, Marlon sitting there like, did he just hang up on you? I'm like, yes, my baby mama just fucking hung up on me. And all I wanted to know was why the fuck they was taking me to court. Why is my baby mama taking me to court? Because, like, the fuck I do now? Like, the fuck? Like, what? So, I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? I ain't even gonna stress about it. I'm gonna just let everything play out the way it's gonna play out. I'm like, eventually, I'm gonna figure out why they going to court. I'm like, I'll just do some investigation to figure out why I'm being taken to court. But I'm pretty sure they'll probably send me something in the mail, like, later on. Hopefully, they'll send me, like, something explaining why I'm going to court, because that's what they do with the custody things. Like, they'll send a little postcard first, and then they'll send the paperwork that was filed in so that you can have it. So I'm like, all right, I guess I just wait for the paperwork to come, since this nigga don't want to tell me what the fuck he taking me to court for. Like, we're adults. Tell me, why are you taking me to court? And Marlon was like, he's so, why does he feel the need to always do this? Why he can't just be an adult and talk to you about y'all, like, the issues that he's having with you? Because clearly he has some issues with you that he ain't talking to you about, and you don't know nothing about. I'm like, I know this, but this is how Terry does things. He does it just like this. I'm like, instead of having a conversation with me, he want to go through the courts. And at this time, I don't even know why we going to court, because it's like, I filed the reconsideration. This ain't got nothing to do with the reconsideration. I know it ain't got nothing to do with the reconsideration. So, what the fuck? So, as I'm talking to Marlon about, like, how I'm feeling, because I'm, like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm pissed, because I'm like, I am so tired of this nigga taking me to court. I am so tired of the court getting my goddamn money. And it's just like, is that why I had Carter? For me to be constantly in and out of goddamn court? I'm like, I done been to court so many times for this one child. It don't even make no goddamn sense. It does not make no sense at all. Like, fuck. Like, either you want me in my son's life or you don't want me in my son's life. But this taking me through all these obstacles for your own personal reason is crazy. It's insane. I'm like, yo, do I disturb you just that much for you to keep taking me back and forth to court? So I'm mad. I'm going off. So as I'm going off about everything, my phone ring. I look down. It's the defects casework. I'm like, okay, hold on, Martin. We're going to hold this thought. I answered the phone. I was like, hey. She was like, hey, so I know the last time we spoke, I said that I was going to close the case. I was going to, suggest the case being closed. I was like, yeah, She was like, well, some new information came up and that we have to investigate a little bit further. I was like, what new information came up? Like, what do you mean? She was like, well, Carter's dad is claiming that you are abusive towards Carter because you were abused. I was like, what? She was like, yes. He said that you were in an abusive relationship and now you are abusing Carter. And before you left to go to Maryland with this guy that used to abuse you, he used to also abuse Carter. I'm like, no, he didn't. That didn't happen. I'm like, what? I'm not abusing Carter. I'm like, I whooped Carter. I gave him 3 licks because he was touching on little girls. Like, he was being inappropriate with little girls at summer camp, and he got suspended. I'm like, yo, I disciplined Carter. I'm like, and I talked to his dad constantly about, like, his disrespect. I talked to his dad about his inappropriate touching. I was trying to talk to his dad about his inappropriate touching, but his dad does not listen to me. He has not been listening to me, and he always want to make it everybody else's fault but his, and just not. I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. I'm like, this is so stupid. This is not fair. This is not fair. She's like, well, I know, but per protocol, because he's making these claims, we do have to investigate further. And I'm just like, okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Like, well, while we in the process of investigating that, can we do something about Carter's inappropriate touching? Is there any type of therapy or resource that can, like, help me help him?